My wife said, I deserve better vacations than you can provide. I just agreed, then casually canceled her flight mid-trip. The phone call she made begging me to fix it was gold. Original post I, 38 male, had been married to Veronica, 36, for 8 years. We both work, though I make about 70% of our household income as a logistics coordinator at a shipping company. Not glamorous, but it pays the bills and then some. Our life was, by any reasonable measure, comfortable. We have a nice house in a good neighborhood, 2 reliable cars, no debt aside from the mortgage which we were paying down ahead of schedule. I worked hard, often pulling 50-hour weeks, to ensure that comfort. I thought we were a team, building a life together. But over the last year, I started to notice a shift in Veronica, a growing dissatisfaction that was fueled by her social media feed. The breaking point came last month while we were planning our annual vacation. I'd been saving up all year and I was excited. I found a great deal on a week-long trip to a beautiful beach resort. It wasn't a 5-star, overwater bungalow in the Maldives, but it was a solid, highly rated 3.5-star place. It had beachfront access, pools, included meals, and fantastic reviews. The total budget was around $3,500 for both of us. I was proud of what I could provide. When I showed Veronica the booking on my phone, her face twisted into a sneer. "This is it?" she asked, the contempt in her voice like a physical blow. "A mid-tier resort? Marcus, I'm 36 years old. I deserve better than this." I tried to reason with her. "It's a nice place, Veronica. Look at the reviews. People love it." "Nice isn't enough anymore," she snapped, shoving her phone in my face. It was a picture of her coworker, Cassandra, lounging at some insanely expensive resort. "That's a vacation, not some budget beach trip." "That probably cost $15,000, I said, stating a simple fact. Her response cut deeper than I expected. "So? Maybe we could afford that if you managed our money better, or if you had more ambition." Ambition. That stung. 8 years of marriage, of working overtime, of being a steady provider, and she was calling me mediocre because I couldn't or wouldn't drop a month's salary on a single vacation. "I deserve better vacations than you can provide," she said finally, her voice ice cold. "I'm tired of settling for your mediocrity." I just stared at her. The woman I had built a life with was looking at me like I was a complete failure, and in that moment, something inside me shifted. The hurt was replaced by a cold, quiet resolve. "You know what? You're absolutely right," I said calmly. "You do deserve the vacation you think you're worth." She looked surprised, then a smug smile spread across her face. "Finally, you're seeing sense. So we'll upgrade." "No," I said. "You'll upgrade. Book whatever vacation you think you deserve. Use your credit card. But that won't cover a luxury vacation." "Then I guess you'll have to figure it out," I replied. "You're right. You deserve better than what I can provide. So go provide it for yourself." She took it as a challenge. For the next week, she was obsessed, glued to her laptop, planning her proper vacation. She booked a solo trip, said I would bring down the vibe to an exclusive, all-inclusive resort in Turks and Caicos. The total cost was $8,400 for 5 days. When I asked how she was paying for it, she said she put the deposit on her card and got a payment plan for the rest, claiming her upcoming bonus would cover it. Her bonus is usually around $2,000. The math didn't add up, but who was I to question her? I was just the mediocre provider. She left for her trip last Tuesday, brimming with smug superiority. Her Instagram was immediately flooded with posts captioned, "Finally treating myself to what I deserve," and luxury life loading. On Wednesday morning, as I was sipping my coffee in a wonderfully quiet house, I remembered something interesting. When we'd renewed her credit card last year, I was still listed as the primary account holder on the account. She was just an authorized user. I logged into the bank's website. Sure enough, there was a massive resort charge, already putting the card over its limit. Then I noticed something else. Her return flight wasn't part of the resort package. She had booked it separately on our shared airline points account to save money, an account that was primarily in my name, I stare at the screen, her words echoing in my head. I deserve better than what you can provide. Well, a mediocre provider like me probably can't be trusted to manage complex, multi-part travel arrangements. It would be irresponsible of me. So, I canceled a return flight. The points were instantly redeposited into my account. Then, with a few more clicks, I remove her as an authorized user from the credit card, an action that would freeze the card completely within 24 hours. Was it petty? Absolutely. But as I sat there, I felt a strange sense of peace. The real show was about to begin. It started on Saturday night. My phone exploded with over 20 missed calls from her. I let them go to voicemail, then finally answered on the 21st try. Her voice was pure panic. "Marcus, what did you do?" "Hey, Veronica," I said cheerfully. "How's the luxury vacation going?" "My car got declined. The hotel says I need to pay the remaining balance right now, or they're kicking me out, and my return flight is gone. It's just gone." "Wow," I said. "That sounds incredibly stressful." "Fix this. Now," she screamed. "Fix what? I'm just a mediocre provider, remember? This sounds like a problem for someone with more ambition. This is way above my pay grade." "This isn't funny. I'm stranded." "You're not stranded, Veronica. You're at a luxury resort. I'm sure they have phones you can use. You're a strong, independent woman who deserves better. I'm sure you can figure it out." "Marcus, please. Everyone here thinks I'm some kind of broke fraud. They're threatening to call security." "Better handle that then," I said. "Gotta go. My mediocre dinner is getting cold." I hung up, put my phone on silent, and had the best night's sleep I'd had in months. The entitlement escalated to a level that was almost impressive. Instead of booking a flight home, Veronica decided to teach me a lesson by calling her mother, Gloria, who then called me, accusing me of abandoning my wife. I'm supporting her journey to the luxury lifestyle she deserves. I told her, "Isn't that what you always told her? Never settle?" Then, Veronica tagged me in an Instagram post in the resort pool with a long caption about how I was a financial abuser who had trapped her in paradise. The comments were a war zone. My brother hilariously commented, "Didn't you go there alone because Marcus wasn't luxury enough for you?" It gets better. She started trying to scam other guests, telling them her mediocre husband would wire the money if they loaned her cash for a flight. One of them actually called me to verify. I told him the truth, and he replied, "Good to know. Thanks, bro." She then lied to her job, saying she had a family emergency and needed to extend her time off. Her boss, unable to reach her, called me as her emergency contact. I calmly explained there was no emergency, and that she was in fact on a solo luxury vacation in Turks and Caicos that she couldn't afford. The long silence from her boss told me everything I needed to know. Her job was gone. She finally made it home on Thursday. How? Her grounded, blue-collar father, Walter, the man whose work she called embarrassing, had to wire her $2,500 for a flight, which he immediately deducted from her inheritance. She showed up at our house with her mother and a police officer, claiming I had locked her out. I calmly showed the officer the deed, proving the house was a premarital asset solely in my name. He informed her it was a civil matter and that she needed to leave. As they left, she screamed, "I deserve better than this." The divorce papers were delivered to her parents' house the next morning. But the grand finale of her entitlement came that night. She tried to wire $5,000 from our old joint savings account to an offshore investment scammer. She met the resort, trying to get rich quick. The bank flagged it and I froze the account. The consequences have been swift and brutal. She's over $11,000 in credit card debt. She was fired. She's being sued by the resort for an unpaid $3,400 spa bill. And she's living with her parents, getting served divorce papers. Meanwhile, I'm at peace. I found out her perfect coworker Cassandra is also in massive debt trying to keep up appearances. It turns out the whole luxury life was a fantasy built on credit. Veronica wanted a champagne dream, but she refused to acknowledge we were on a beer budget. She finally got the luxury vacation she thought she deserved. She just didn't plan for the luxury consequences.